Hello, everybody, and welcome to Round 6, Match number 2 of the NRG Championship. Looks like we have both players keeping their 7s as we are prepared to get started. We're going to give them the green light down there at the feature match area and get going.
It's nice to see players with full hands, whereas in the last match we had a player that perhaps should have mulliganed, and then a player that was punished for not mulliganing the first game by having to mulligan 3 times in the second game.
Yeah, maybe Mitch should watch them and, kind of try and learn something. I think they're waiting for us, but we're going to make sure we give them that double green light and say go ahead. Players are ready. Justin Brickman with a steam vents tapped, passing over to Tommy Tomsovic with what land do you think Tommy played for turn 1? Don't look.
Oh, I already looked, which ruined it because I would have been right, and I can't take any credit.
Swamp number 2 for Tommy Tomsovic. It's going to be an Arguel's Bloodfast. Extremely powerful card, reminiscent of lots of black and... Oh, I'm very confused. Obviously, it's not Bloodfast.
See, checklist cards showed up and bit you on that one.
Checklist
you just
cards,
made an assumption, but yes, it is not a Bloodfast. It's Treasure Map. Same idea.
Yep.
It's a 2-mana permanent. It generates some card advantage. I do love Bloodfast. Treasure Map also very good.
Tommy will scry in the upkeep, bottom that card, so already getting some card selection. Play his 3rd Swamp for turn and pass back to Brickman, who will
play his own treasure map.
Map
so
of his
we'll
own.
see. Yeah, being a turn behind though in this, it does matter.
Map flipping is a huge turn for both for either player.
Now I don't actually know who's going to benefit more from having a flipped map with extra mana, because both decks are greedy for mana and have a lot to do.
Tommy will once again activate map in the upkeep, I believe there. Get another flip and play his 2nd treasure map. Watch me be wrong. Okay, it was 2nd treasure map. So, double map for Tommy active. Going to be able to activate the 2nd one for the turn. Bunch of scry action, smoothing out his draws. Brickman will get his first activation of the treasure map and untap.
So we have a Stronghold. Now Stronghold starts, you start benefiting from Stronghold at 5 land. At 5 swamps. At 4 swamps you're breaking even.
Right.
So,
Brickman will...
we're not getting anything yet from it.
Brickman will, by the way, scry there in his own upkeep, same way that Tommy has been. He will keep the card and play his land for turn there.
Yeah, I think we're just going to be trying to hit land drops at the beginning, and then we'll worry about having impactful spells later on.
Yeah, it's very interesting where both these decks are relatively mid-rangey, but once we get to that mid to late game, the Drake's deck has the ability to just win out of nowhere.
Does Tommy not have that option either, though? I think with the Wish for, his major cards.
Yeah,
I think we can see that on both sides actually.
Yeah, we're gonna have a look at Tommy's deck list itself
we do
right
have the
now,
deck list
thanks
in
to our
front of us
spotters.
now. Thanks to our spotters who stole the deck list. If they hadn't stolen the deck list in the first place, we wouldn't have needed them to rescue us now.
I guess that's true.
Yeah. So. Our co-commentator is perhaps trying to screw us over here and make us look bad by taking our deck lists.
We appreciate it.
But we have them back. Okay.
Exciting thing here for Tommy is he will be flipping at least one of those maps this turn. Well, specifically one of those maps this turn. One of his biggest payoff spells that we mentioned, that you were saying, is the Josu Vest. One of getting to kick that one is once again like that kind of 1-card win condition.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know that we could, if you were trying to list Tommy's payoffs,
sure.
That's a big list.
Yep.
There's some removal, and there's
the deck is bomb heavy.
We have a playset of Karns, we have Demon Lord, Belzenmock, Josu Vest, we have 2 Niv Mizzets, despite the fact that we're only playing Swamps and Cabal Strongholds. Although we do have a Chromatic Lantern in play now, so now our Swamps can all tap for black in addition to Niv Mizzet.
Finally.
Yeah, and then we have some removal, and our wishes, so basically our entire 75 is playable in game. This is a Cyborg game, but our entire 75 is playable in game 1 anyway with Mastermind's Acquisition.
Right.
And we have, Brickman on the board with a Planeswalker.
Ral, is it Viceroy? It's going to let Brickman basically cast a sleight of hand here. Look at his top 2 cards, put 1 to his hand and 1 on the bottom of the library.
Yeah.
Second ability on the Ral. Oh,
yeah,
sorry. Yeah, it goes to the graveyard. Excuse me, not the bottom. But so that's going to finally start fueling the second ability on the Ral, giving Brickman his first instant sorcery there in the graveyard, as Tommy Tomsovic will flip his first treasure map.
Although I'm not sure how much Brickman is going to be using Ralzar to shoot creatures down, because I'm not sure how many creatures that Tommy has that are worth shooting. We have Josuves, which, good luck. You can shoot the Josuves, and there's like an army of tokens that come with it.
Good number of zombies or whatever they are.
I guess we can shoot Niv Mizzet down eventually, but we're definitely going to need quite a few activations or quite a few parts of the yard before that happens.
I kind of like how at this point Tommy is forced to find himself a copy of Vraska's Contempt, or this Ral is going to ultimate very quickly.
Well, I thought I saw Vraska's Contempt earlier. There might even be a pair in his hand. He also has Eldest Report, so he's stocked up on ways to deal with this. Now, if you have both options here, what do you play? Do you play Eldest Reborn or Vraska's Contempt?
So if Tommy's tapped out, I think I'm just playing the Reborn. That's just gonna, guarantee that resolving and gonna get you some value over the next several turns.
Yeah, Brickman's not quite tapped out because of the treasures, but
sure.
Basically,
okay.
Yeah, I think there's some merit to the Eldest Reborn. However, Eldest Reborn, the one other factor is that Eldest Reborn against Niv Mizzet is better than Vraska's Contempt because it won't draw Justin a card.
That's very true. And as you mentioned, both treasures there will. Oh, wow.
Yeah, Tommy just plays them both in the same turn.
The treasure advantage is real.
So both players having to lose the treasures there to deny themselves cards later on in order to maximize this turn. And, Tommy comes out and removes the Ral Zarek. I do believe that given the choice, he probably would have rather saved that, but... Well, I guess he had the choice, actually. Does he actually have another Vraska's Contempt in his hand? Maybe I was wrong about that.
He does.
He does. So, I'm
He just want to get the Ral off the board, I guess, and deny him that card?
Oh, well, I don't know. I maybe he just wants to get on the board because he can get the Ral back himself when the Eldest Reborn, flips over. But I feel like I'm not sure that's the way I would have done it. It would also save him a treasure, and that's a card for later on.
That is true. Yeah, I actually want to double-check Brickman's sideboard here. He doesn't have like the one of Blink of an Eye, for example. So this Eldest Reborn is going to hit all 3 chapters at one point here.
Well, that'll be exciting. Crackling Drake for Justin is fine. I don't imagine that it'll survive. Well, there is actually Dive Down his hand, so maybe it will. Maybe that's another thing. Is Eldest Reborn can get through a Dive Down on a creature, whereas Vraska's Contempt on a Planeswalker cannot. So that would be another reason why maybe we would have wanted to play the second Vraska's Contempt last turn instead of the Eldest Reborn.
If you're following along at home and checking out the Twitch extension Cardboard Live, you can see both of these players' deck lists online right now on top of your screen. And a nice thing about Brickman's deck list is he's adopted the recent addition to the mana base of the blue-red deck in a couple of black dual lands, specifically so that, in the form of the Dragon Skull Summit, it's a red land that can cast Discovery, but both of these lands let you cast the other half in Dispersal in a pinch. Especially good against, some of the things, of the big things on Tommy's side. Specifically, if Tommy steals a Niv Mizzet.
Oh wow, that's excellent.
If he steals, steals Brickman's Niv Mizzet or Ral, for example, Dispersal will bounce that to Brickman's hand.
Yeah, also with treasures he can do that, although I believe he used them all up now, but you're right, that would be significant. Tommy is got some nice stuff going. He's got a Duress to lead off this turn. He's got a lot of mana to follow it up with. Now we have Dive Down, Sarkin, and is that a Banefire are the choices alongside the 2 creatures?
Yeah, Murmuring Mystic and Crackling Drake, the other creatures in the hand. Duress will only take the non-creatures, but it's really hard for me between Banefire or the Sarkin at this point.
Well, actually, I think there's a chance that we'll take the Dive Down so that we can actually kill. There's a Crackling Drake on the board, which is growing in size, even though it isn't massive yet.
Absolutely.
It depends on what Tommy's last 2 cards are. Do we still believe one of them is a Vraska's Contempt?
I do believe so.
And he's got a pile of treasures, so he's got a lot of cards available to himself on the board. And he can also eat those treasures rapidly with 2 lands to take advantage of them.
Right, he has 2 treasure coves there, so you can start drawing a bunch a turn.
Boy, look at you, you're all over the card names.
Yeah, I sort cards too often for a living. Cabal Stronghold also giving Tommy a lot of mana. Does he actually have any massive mana payoffs besides the Josu? I'm going to double check really quickly.
Well, Master's Mind's Acquisition is kind of a mana payoff because you can get something large from the sideboard.
Okay.
Even if you're just getting Argos Bloodfast. I mean, his life total is stable at 20 right now.
He has a Banefire in the sideboard as well.
He does have a Banefire. He also has a Kama. there could be any kinds of nonsense coming here. Now, some of those cards might have been boarded in.
This deck
even Lord
slices
Belzenok. Now, this actually got read by his opponent last round, too.
Let's get this
one
on camera real quick.
Doesn't come up all that often. It's It's a real big guy that draws some cards, which is, exactly what a lot of players are looking for.
Demon Lord Belzenok, the big daddy himself from Dominaria, Demonaria, if you will. Demon Lord.
I believe I won't. Actually,
You believe you won't? Actually, will. Okay, sure. Demon Lord Belzenok. Let's get that one on camera for you real quickly. It's a 6/6 flying trample 4/6. When it comes into play, you exile cards from the top of your library until you hit a non-land. You put that card into your hand, and if its CMC is 4 or greater, you repeat this process. So you can kind of just keep doing this and draw a lot of cards. Belzenok deals 1 damage to you for each card you put into your hand this way.
Yeah, so that's just great. It's huge. It trades with the Drake. I mean, it's not going to do much more than that at this point. But it's a big body. I was looking up the card, so I didn't see what he grabbed off that. Did you see?
I actually didn't either.
Okay, well we're bad at this. But
Tommy does, by the way, take the dive down with that duress, so Sarkhan is in play and going to start ticking up.
Yeah, taking the dive down seemed sensible to me, although I expected him to follow up by killing the Crackling Drake in play, and that didn't happen.
Okay.
And that makes sense because Demon Lord Belzenok was a great thing to drop.
It's a good follow-up.
Yeah, I would say. So we're going to... we don't need it, but the 5th land, when we get there, we'll begin to allow the Cabal Stronghold to generate extra mana. And, wow. So we have the Rouse Eric in play. I believe there's only 2 spells, which isn't enough to do anything yet, unless we can play... If we could play 2 spells this turn, and then use Rouse Eric to kill Drake, that'd be quite a turn.
Chat letting us know that the card he got off the Belzenlock was a cast down. So that gives him enough instant and sorceries in his hand to actually turn the Rouse Eric on.
Does it?
The Rouse Izzet Viceroy on.
Oh, this is going to be painful. If he cast downs a Crackling Drake, contempts the Planeswalker, and then rouse down the other Drake, I mean, that's a turn for the ages. That's a turn that you immediately call your family and you're like, go watch the replay of the coverage. Watch what I did. This is awesome.
We did it, Mom. Yeah. So Tommy will draw a card off Treasure Cove. Make sure he knows exactly what he has access to.
Get the 5th swamp, so now we're getting 2 mana from the Stronghold.
That is huge.
Which is nice. I mean, it just builds up. And we have a lot of cool stuff. Brickman's board is fine. Ooh. Is that what we expected the Rexless Contempt to go?
Yeah, I didn't exactly expect that one.
No, I didn't either. I suppose, we can...
Oh, does he want to cast the Eldritch Reborn here?
Okay, that'll work too. Or he could even just attack it down. Yeah, that's what he's going to do. He's just going to attack it down. And that works, and then plus the Rouse Eric. This works
basically,
fine.
Tommy had 17 different ways to make this turn amazing, and he just chose his favorite one.
Brickman didn't know it, but his board had 0 chance of surviving that turn. Really, honestly, Tommy maybe could have taken some randomized dice and just rolled or we could have had Twitch plays Magic and just had whatever Twitch did. First 3 suggestions in the chat, you follow them through, and then Brickman's board is destroyed.
Yeah, no matter what there, Tommy was going to have a pretty good turn. I'll take your Ral Izzet Viceroy for free.
And Brickman's Banefire kills his own Planeswalker because there's no choice. This is
sacrilege.
I mean, this is fun for us, but I have to say, I've taken a lot of pleasure in people getting absolutely eviscerated on camera today by Tommy's. Actually, it was Tommy both times.
Yep.
Yeah. So if I'm
gonna
have to if Tommy wins this, I think I'm gonna have to. I mean, I know that the caster rounds are preset tomorrow. I might have to see if I can rearrange things because I want to do Tommy's match.
You want to do Tommy specifically? Sure.
Look, this is great. How could anyone not want to do this? I mean, I could go watch it in the other room, but I'd much rather be here.
Yeah. It's pretty exciting stuff to watch Tomsovic play Magic.
Okay, so now what do we have going on here? I mean, Tommy's got... I'm not going to count all those swamps. I think he's got 97 mana.
Oh! There is the kicker.
Oh my gosh. He's got... Yeah, Dan Brickman
will
packs
offer
it
the
in.
hand
Wow.
immediately.
I mean, that was... Brickman didn't even stumble. He developed fine that game, and he got crushed.
So, just like that, we have 6 of your NRG Championship top 8. Peter Tragos winning Pod A, Blair Splett winning Pod B, Brandon Lunt winning Pod C, and Andrew Tendrum 5-0ing Pod D. We got to watch Mr. Reed Splett winning his elimination match for round 6, and Tommy Tomsovic being your 6th top 8 competitor, taking down his elimination match against Justin Brickman with Chromatic Black, none other than.